Hey, hey.
How are you?
Good to see you.
And you, nice to see you too. Sorry, I took long because I was going to try and do it on a laptop, but then I realized that my webcam wasn't clear, so I'm doing it off my phone.
What part of Britain are you in?
I'm in London.
Okay, yeah, because I recognize the accent. I forgot you had that accent. It caught
Oh,
me off
really?
guard a little bit. I think I saw you on O'Shea's channel, right? On
Yeah.
the Kenganda channel.
Yes, yes, yeah.
What were y'all talking about in y'all interview?
So I've been on there twice. The first one we were talking about whether the Black British community is forgotten within a diaspora. And then the second interview we had was where we were talking about, because in the first interview I was talking about growing up in London, UK during like the 90s. It wasn't
Okay.
cool to embrace your African culture. It was all
Okay.
about saying you're from the Caribbean and everything like that, as opposed to saying, oh, you're from the actual continent. So we talked about that, and that's why I got quite a lot of backlash. I don't know if you, I think we were
Interesting.
on the live. You know, there was a
I think I was on that one. I think I
yeah,
was on
when
that one. You're a
yeah,
moderator on O'Shea's channel too, right?
yes, yes, exactly like you, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was on that one. I think that's the one I saw.
Yeah.
Man, that's
So
pretty crazy. So yeah, today's topic, did you see the topic when you came in?
it didn't show me when I came in just now, no.
Well, we
But I
talked
think we
about it a little bit
talked
on
about it.
Instagram.
Yes, yes.
By the way, let the people know your Instagram.
Oh my god, oh my gosh, guys, we're live. Sorry, I thought we were
Are
doing
we
like
I don't see, so this is my first time live streaming on my channel. So I think we might be live, but I mean whatever, I guess.
okay, no problem. Okay, so my name's Sani. I'm the creator and host of the Afripolitan podcast. So thanks for having me on your live today, Sani Bravo. As we just discussed, we're both moderators on O'Shea's channel, and I've been on the Kenganda channel twice. So you can find me on YouTube, so the Afripolitan podcast. So please subscribe, and I'm also on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, and I'm also on Instagram, so please do follow. Thank you.
Nice. So today's topic I wanted to talk about, we talked about a little bit on your Instagram inbox.
Mm.
Is DaniLeigh's song Yellow Bone really a problem, or are black darker skinned women overly sensitive is the title. The reason I say that is because I feel like everyone has their preference. Me, I've always been more attracted to darker skinned women, but there's this narrative that everyone pedestalizes lighter skinned women. So I personally feel like that's not always the case, or in a lot of times that's not the case. But I feel like there's this narrative push because of the racism and everything else that we've grown up experiencing, that black men actually pedestalize light skin. So how you feel about that?
I mean, I personally feel like the song was a very, very big problem. And I don't feel sorry for the backlash that she got. First of all,
Okay.
it's a continuous thing of, lighter skinned females basically using their light skin privilege to put darker skinned females down. Her first reaction was to say that, there's so many brown songs for brown skinned women. No, there isn't. There's only Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce, and I think maybe Brown Girl in the Wind by Bonnie M. Maybe there's another few, but there's not loads, like what she was saying, first of all. And secondly, colorism is very still prevalent to this day. Darker skinned females and darker skinned males, are subject to basically not being seen as less desirable. We even still see it now in terms of in the media, even when there are black women, they tend to have Eurocentric features. So, they might have curly hair, they're not going to have 4C nappy hair. And with their complexion, that they're going to be lighter skinned, they're not going to be dark skinned. So for the fact that, obviously racism is obviously still very something that affects us all daily, whether we're a black male or a black woman. For her to say there's so many songs. The songs are there to uplift us, to make us feel confident, to make us love ourselves, because that's something that we still struggle with, self-love within the black community. So for her,
okay.
No, go on.
So there's an argument to be made that a lot of men love darker skinned women like Kelly Rowland. You know, Beyonce is considered a darker skinned woman, and some people say Kelly Rowland's more attractive than Beyonce is, and she's darker than her. Also, there was another point I went. Oh, there's a lot of songs I feel like uploading darker skinned women. Like I don't know if you mentioned that song Brown Skin from back in the day. I think, what was that, from India.Arie or somebody? And you got a lot of songs from back in that era that I can remember. It's kind of vague, but I remember a nice little handful of them. But yeah, I don't know. Well, and as far as dark skinned guys, I feel like being a chocolate guy is definitely in. I don't feel like that's out. Like I think there was an era, especially when I was younger, to where there was kind of like worshiping the lighter skinned guys on the movies and stuff like that. But I feel like being a dark skinned guy isn't necessarily as problematic. But it's kind of like what you said, like women are actually bashing darker skinned women, and it's not necessarily men that are. How you feel about that statement?
I mean, okay, first of all, yes, I know that there's this argument of Kelly Rowland. Yes, Kelly Rowland's beautiful, and I've always thought that she's more attractive than Beyonce personally. But still, Beyonce, you know, she has like mixed heritage, so I still wouldn't class her as somebody that's dark skinned. And
I didn't know that.
Pardon?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think I don't know if it's Hispanic, but she's got something. She's not fully black.
Wow.
If you go back into her ancestry, she's like Rihanna. You know how Rihanna, I think she has like Irish in her or something. So
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
well, I feel like a lot of us have like something mixed in us, though, you know, especially with the slave trade and everything, you know, us in America, we got all type of Irish and all type of stuff mixed in us too. So, you know, I feel like we're majority black, though.
Yeah.
You know, besides that whole one drop rule and all that crazy, you know.
Of course, yeah. So for me, when I think of like dark skin, I even think of like someone who's darker than Kelly Rowland. I think of like Laputa. I mean, I can never say her surname, but you know the Kenyan actress, and she was in 12 Years a Slave.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I think of like someone of that complexion, and then you were then saying, oh, now I've lost my trail of thought. So I agree with you in terms of, yes, for darker skinned men, they are winning now, like they are seen as desirable. So what was the last point that you said?
I don't exactly remember, but basically is it overblown? About basically women getting on this whole colorism thing with each other more so than men actually get it on women about it. Like I know I was talking to the homegirl Chris Logic about this you know, like yesterday actually, that basically, you know, you get your stupid rappers that say stupid stuff from time to time, like Kodak Black talking about he only mess with light-skinned women, and Lil Wayne talking about his long hair, thick red bone. But you gotta realize both of them ended up being Trump supporters. You know what I'm saying? So they're kind of like, not necessarily with Kodak Black, he's probably just trying to get himself out of jail or whatever. But Wayne had the track record of saying stupid things against the black community in general. Yeah. So that's kind of like a self-hating type situation. Plus he has a background when he either shot himself or got shot or whatever, how it was a white cop that saved him and all this. So he got like traumatic things going on. But I don't feel like that's the majority of black men that think in such a way to where it's like they pedestalize light-skinned women. But I think the women hear those prominent examples and it's like really triggering. So it's kind of like, oh, y'all are, you know, these are y'all leaders and this is who y'all listening to. So all y'all worship light-skinned women, you know?
I think it's a bit of both, but I disagree with you respectfully. I think like a lot of black men are the root cause of why colorism is still a major issue within the black community. I feel as if it's seen in the types of women that men will be with. Yes, of course, we're all black and we're all beautiful in all our different shades. But if you see a man particularly date a certain type of woman, okay, he's just for example, he's dated black women, but all of them are light-skinned. You cannot then say that you don't have a preference, or you know, you don't have you know what I mean? You can't really say that you don't see a lighter skinned person as more attractive than a darker skinned person. Also, I'll give you an example of, I can't remember, O'Shea did a video, I can't remember what video it was, I think it was to do with DaniLeigh or something, and I commented something on there to do with colorism. I got called. This is by black men, by the way. I got called ugly. I got told I need to go on a diet. I got all of these nasty things were said to me just because I was calling colorism out. So it's always seen as a lot of black men will. What I tend to find is when it comes to police brutality, you understand what the black community goes through. When it comes to institutional racism, you understand what the black community goes through. Well, when the topic of colorism, it always seems to be like quite a lot of black men can't comprehend what colorism is. And even when we do give examples, it's still like, you're just bitter, oh, you're ugly, oh, you're just jealous of that woman. And it's like, well, no, because black women are statistically at the bottom, like literally at the bottom in terms of desirability in society. And if you're a darker skinned black woman, it's even worse. So
so there's a lot to address there. So as we both know, O'Shea's channel has hundreds, over 100,000 subscribers. So you're gonna have a whole variety of different opinions. And in the manosphere, you're gonna get a bit of a tougher crowd than you would in the general public, more than likely. So the thing is, you know, you might have this example of like the guy that only dates light-skinned women, but you also got guys like me that have primarily only dated dark-skinned women. You know, I've dated a handful of light-skinned women, but almost all dark-skinned women. So, and I know a lot of guys. I even know guys that are yellow that have dated almost all dark-skinned women. You know, so it's kind of like I don't know if there's like it's kind of anecdotal. You know what I mean? In my opinion. And there's a lot of, I mean, there's a ton of beautiful dark-skinned women in the media. You got, you know, Taraji P. Henson. You got, which she's a little older now, but
I wouldn't class her as dark-skinned. I'll say she's like my complexion.
So for you, dark skin is like darker than our complexion, basically. Yes. Like, yeah, but see, the majority of African American entertainers aren't that dark. Like in the modern, I mean not modern, but in African American society, I feel like the majority of people are like my complexion or lighter, or like around my complexion, maybe a little darker, but like not like South Sudan dark. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not like way dark, because you know the majority of African American people have like mixed backgrounds somewhat at least, and things like that. So I feel like there's an underrepresentation maybe because there's not as many really dark-skinned people that are famous or in the spotlight and things like that.
I think maybe that's because when I think of dark skin and when I think of colorism, I'm thinking of females and males that are darker than me, and not like, okay, even going towards like, yeah, just like you said, the South Sudan complexion, but even just a little bit lighter than that. That's when I think of dark skin. So me personally, I wouldn't say I've really experienced colorism per se. Like I've never had like a black male say to me, oh, you're too dark or blah blah blah. No. But I have seen, like, especially in the UK, I have heard of males say about women that are darker than me that, oh, she's too dark, or, you know, or she's blick. Like in the UK, there used to be this word like blick. So blick was somebody who was like very, very dark. People used to call them blick, and all of these other different things. So I think that's where I'm coming from when I'm talking about colorism and the underrepresentation of dark-skinned people. I'm talking about people that are darker than me, not necessarily people that are our shades, if that makes sense.
Okay, interesting. That's an interesting perspective. Okay, well, this has been a really interesting conversation. I really appreciate you coming on. Do you have anything else to add? Anything to tell people about your channel, what they can expect when they go to your channel and check it out?
Yes, please. So, you know, I have a Pan-African platform. So I basically talk about the experiences, the African experience within the diaspora. So I'm based in London, UK. So I talk about that, different topics. So topics in regards to society and culture, topics regarding traveling, and also my sort of like 9-to-5 job is within the fashion industry. So I also talk about my experiences there. So yeah, so I'm open to collaborating like I've done today with Sani Bravo. So yeah, so please just check it out and subscribe.
What's your Instagram again?
It's the Afripolitan podcast. So the name there is the exact name on Instagram.
Perfect. Well, everybody go follow the Afripolitan podcast.
Yeah.
I've messed up on my words. I appreciate you guys checking us out. I appreciate if you go to her channel, subscribe. Even though this channel is primarily I talk about the dating dynamics and things like that. I want y'all to know we do not hate women. I'm visiting my mom's house right now. She thinks I hate women because of some of the videos I make. We do not hate women in the manosphere. We have differences of opinion and a lot of different things, but I am pro-black first. I am B1 first, ultimately. So at the end of the day, that's what it is with me. So I'm gonna holler at y'all next time. Sani Bravo, the Afripolitan podcast, and wow.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Sani Bravo.
No problem. Anytime. I'll see you next time.
Take care. Bye.